obviously the biggest club in England. I would say the world, but Madrid are probably the biggest club in the world. But the biggest club in England, Man United, sit down at 13th place on January 21st with 26 points.
Yeah.
This is, I don't think I could have, well, honestly, I could have predicted this because if Ten Hag was in charge, it probably would have been worse. That dude was terrible. But
I actually think it would have been better with Ten Hag.
Oh,
but I think the actual
system
game
change.
performances and watching the games would have been terrible.
Yeah, fair. Because you do have to deal with the new system.
Yes.
But well, it's not even if Spurs are at 15. So honestly, you guys could be worse.
I would hate to be a Spurs fan right now.
Yeah, that's tough. The Aussie coach is struggling. But yeah, what do you guys think? Man United finishing top 10? I think top 10 should be the goal at this point. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion as United fans, but I don't think you can expect too much more at this point.
Yeah, I like to think I have a more balanced head on my shoulders than most United fans. I think a lot are like demanding this be a top 6 season. You're insane if you think that. I truly think United for a long time coming, since Ragnick said they needed open heart surgery. They need the time to look in the mirror and see what they are and deal with it. And I think Ruben Amorim knows this. He's said it, thank God, out loud multiple times. Reportedly, after their last game, he smashed the TV in the locker room, throwing chairs, throwing tables, screaming at players, and reportedly had them even crying. Like, dude was going after them for their performance and their positioning. And I think that's what we needed. Ten Hag, both in the media and reportedly with the players, just no character, kind of laid back, and he didn't really command the dressing room. I think that's changing with Amorim. I think the club is backing him and getting rid of some of those big names like Rashford potentially. I do take issue with the potential transfer of Garnacho, which has been coming up more and more, potentially going to Napoli or to Chelsea even.
I did see that report. Yeah,
that would be crazy. That'd be the one crazy thing I would not be for, is letting someone that young go. I understand the club needs money for, more transfers to fit Amorim's system, but I think Garnacho is a young player, academy player, has the room to grow into that space. He didn't start the season off the best, but he has been performing very well, in my opinion, recently. Not the best, but he's been giving assists. He's been doing his job on the wing. And for his age, I don't think there's much more you can ask. And especially with how the rest of the team is playing, I think that's someone we got to keep. But yeah, overall, I don't see Man U really going past the 10th spot. I think they're going to stay pretty far down from the top 6, unfortunately.
Interesting. I don't know I'll let you go first, Eric, and then I'll give a spiel to wrap it up. But what do you think, just based on, I know you, like you said, you haven't been keeping up too much, but if you were to harbor a guess based on form, as you can see, like the recent form, what do you think? Man U top 10 or no?
Yeah, so listen, when y'all had me, Dre, I think you inspired me to check out the Premier League this season. And when I first tuned in, I was excited. I was just like, let's see how Man U's doing. And the few weekends I did give them a chance, they just wasted my time, man. So I'm personally, and that when my team is performing badly, I want them to just perform horribly. I just want them to, if they're at the bottom, I want them to stay at the bottom. Right now, the Mexican national team is in shambles, and I want them to stay there because I want things to change. There's no real change that happens unless they hit rock bottom. So to me, I don't have them ending in the top half. They don't even look like they're within striking distance of the 10th slot. It looks like they're if you do the math, they're 7 points off, which isn't too crazy, but from what I've seen, they've been playing horribly. So I'm gonna have them sticking around.
It is
down there.
It is funny though, because even with them playing horribly, visibly the system they're playing in you see so much more potential. And even
Mm.
with that system, it makes them look better than they are. So I do have to give credit to the manager, and I fully back him. And I would like to not sack a manager every 1.5, 2 years. And I actually want to commit to him, his vision for like 3 years, see what the result is, and go from there.
100% agree on that. I'm not a Man U fan, so I would like you to sack him, but I think genuinely, like, this dude, he is fighting a crazy uphill battle. I like Amarim. I think his system has a lot of, obviously we saw it worked out with Sporting. I think it has a lot of potential, but obviously the board kept Ten Hag through the summer, got more Ten Hag signings, and then brought in Amarim at almost halfway through the season.
Criminal.
Who would play with Ten Hag players like Anthony. It's just tough. It's just tough. And so far this window, they haven't even backed him so far, which is tough. So I guess maybe they're waiting for the summer. But then why did they? Apparently, I heard they tried to say if you don't join when you join, then it's not going to be open in the summer. So like you kind of just like
they forced him to
giving
join
him-
now and leave
yeah,
Sporting
and then
early.
you're not going to back him until the summer. It's like they're really trying to screw this guy over. But I think you have to stick it out. You have to see how this goes. Let him get some players in. I think you are in a tough spot with Garnacho, because I think you guys need profit somewhere, and you only have so many academy players that are worth anything.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not selling Ahmad ever.
No.
Do not touch that guy. So it's like Garnacho, Mainu, I don't know. It's tough.
And that's the thing too, is like on that left wing. I mean, I'm just looking right now. I don't think there's anyone else that could play there.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. Especially if Rashford's out, then what are you doing? Yeah. It's tough. And you guys really need like some work with those wing back wide midfield slots. I think having like, people like Dalot pushing up, like, bro, in the final third, he is clueless, bro. Like, it's just tough.
In the final third, it's crazy. And then our strikers too. Hoyland, he's had a lot of time now. Yeah. He's got, I will say, consistently, the service to him has been terrible, if not non-existent.
Which is funny though, because like I agree, the service hasn't been the best, but then when it is there and he whiffs, people are like, "But he's so young, man. He's so young." It's like, bro,
I will say, at least from game to game, I do see improvement in him. I'm more skeptical about Xerxes.
Interesting.
For me, my biggest issue is just the pace. Every time I see that dude run, or like it's a 1v1, I just know he doesn't stand a chance.
He's cooked.
And it's nothing against him. That's just the player he is. And that was a Ten Hag signing. So
yeah, Ten Hag cooked you guys, honestly. Two strikers that are...
The only good signing he gave us was Ugarte, and apparently Ten Hag didn't even really want him that much. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think too with Garnacho, it's like, not to make this too long-winded, but I think with him, I know for sure, because he's only 20, which is still crazy. Like, he's had a crazy career for a 20-year-old so far.
Yeah.
And like the jump from like 20 to 21, 22, 23, like big steps can be taken then. And I do think you have to seriously consider selling him. But I also think if you do sell him, he's going to go somewhere and go crazy. And then you're also going to be upset there.
Yeah.
So you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. But as for the prediction, I can't see unless somehow the system with these terrible players starts clicking. And that's the other thing too. I like Amarim, but like it has been a little while now. I know the players don't fit, but we hope you see a little better by now in the system. But I can't see a top 10 finish. I like Brighton a lot. I don't see Brighton dropping. Villa, like you guys have, or at least you, Alexi, have Villa pushing up to 6.
Yeah.
Fulham's been really solid. Brentford, their forward line is really strong. Palace, I don't know about Palace. I think United could take over Palace, but other than that, I can't see them going past 10th, which is crazy because like obviously you never think a club the size of United would drop this far.
Yeah.
Although as a Chelsea fan, we also dropped very far in the past, so I
And
can't talk too much.
It is
but
fascinating too because like it's just again looking at the squad on paper, I mean you wouldn't even imagine them in this position, especially with getting Mazraoui and De Ligt for the deal they did. I mean, with a backline like that, with Lenny Euro as well, like you just would think they're unstoppable. But here we are.